New numbers show just how effective our immigration laws have been under previous administrations. According to the Pew Research Center, the typical illegal immigrant has been living here in the United States for 15 years. Pew also finds that at least 7.6 million illegals holding jobs that would have otherwise gone to American citizens and legal immigrants. Joining me now to talk about it all, Congressman Matt Gaetz, who is a member of the House Judiciary and Armed Services Committee. Congressman, good to see you. So the Pew Research was very instructive because they found that with illegals on average staying here 15 years without really getting caught or deported is a financial burden to the American taxpayer of more than $700 billion. They're gaming the system, aren't they?
They really are, and the left would tell us that this is what is required to be humane, that humanity requires the American taxpayer to shoulder the burden forever for whomever can get into our country. And the Pew study is particularly relevant given the work the Trump administration is trying to execute right now on interior enforcement of our immigration laws. Democrats would say that even if we catch people at the border, even if a judge says that they have no valid asylum claim, that it's racist to suggest that they ought to be removed by ICE for committing the crime of unlawful entry into our country. And what the Pew study shows is that there are real consequences for the American economy and for the American people if we continue to allow lawlessness to be the organizing principle of our immigration policies.
Speaking of the economy, as I pointed out, because of the president's tariffs, U.S. companies are now shifting their manufacturing production jobs to other countries rather than China. And as a consequence, China's economy is weakening and maybe headed for a free fall. Is it fair to say that the president's strategy on tariffs seems to be working?
President Trump is the first American president to truly understand China, and thus he is developing leverage to try to get a better deal for the American worker. It's not just that China's growth is slowing quarter over quarter, month over month. As you described, Greg, American companies are making other plans. They're onshoring jobs back into our country. They're developing agreements with other emerging economies throughout Asia and throughout the world. And so if China maintains the position of non-negotiation relative to our trade policies, the impact won't just be temporary for them. It could be long-term. And the American companies, like you mentioned, who are making different decisions about their supply chain aren't likely to go crawling back to China, especially when you look at the way China cheats by manipulating their currency and stealing intellectual property and engaging in other malign influence against the United States.
I must ask you about Robert Mueller. You sit on the Judiciary Committee. It's now been changed. He was supposed to be talking to the Intel Committee and the Judiciary Committee on Wednesday of this week. It's now been delayed by at least a week, although some are rather skeptical that it will ever happen. What do you know?
I know that Democrats have been unable to secure testimony from any fact witnesses regarding the impeachment and drag that they seem to be prosecuting in the Judiciary Committee. Nancy Pelosi and others in the Democrat leadership know that if they engage in impeachment, the American people will punish them for that in the 2020 election and overwhelmingly re-elect a transformational president who has made our country stronger and safer. That said, the radical elements of the Democratic Party seem to be in control. That tension is making it very difficult for them to proceed. And frankly, Greg, it just looks like a joke when you and I both know that the real work that has to be done is in probing the origins of this investigation and determining why our president was improperly accused of committing crimes for 22 months. I will say I'm on my way to go meet with my House Judiciary colleagues, and we all have our Greg Jarrett Russia hoax book dog-eared and coffee-stained for our preparations.
Thank you. I appreciate the plug. There are so many questions to be asked of Robert Mueller by Republicans. Democrats are just looking for sound bites to repeat from the report. But among the many questions, and I have a list of about 20 of them, one of them would be, Mr. Mueller, you sat across a desk from Peter Strzok, and you fired him because of his biased text. And yet, number one, you never asked him if that bias infected his decisions and contaminated the special counsel investigation. Number two, you let him walk out of that office with his cell phone. You didn't confiscate it and preserve the evidence. As a result, it was wiped clean. Isn't that one of the questions he should be asked?
He will undoubtedly be asked questions about the assembly of his team, both at its inception and just the number of people that left his team under a cloud of bias. It wasn't just Peter Strzok. There were attorneys as well who had been sending messages like "Viva la resistance." They went to work for Robert Mueller. They were involved in the decisions regarding this investigation. And I think the biased assembly of this team is the reason why there was so much focus on the president, his campaign, and almost no focus on the extensive contacts between DNC vendors and Russians who were trying to destabilize our democracy by lying about Donald Trump and his campaign.
You know, it was no wonder that it became a partisan panel, because Mueller left it up to Andrew Weissman, of all people, the partisan in chief, to select the entire staff. And, you know, that's just one of the many questions I would add. What in the world were you thinking, allowing a guy like Weissman to come near the building? Congressman Matt Gaetz, best of luck to you. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Greg.